The new version of Isekai is dropping this Saturday, April 25th, with tons and tons and tons of new systems and content. You know what to do. Go to the pinned comment, click the link, join the new Isekai Discord server, and stay tuned. If your school life or love life or work life is depressing, then these are gonna cheer you right up. Here are 10 romance comedies, school anime you must watch. Let's go!
Hikari.
光どうかしたの？
Time for some time travel. Natsuki Haibara is a socially anxious college senior who somehow gets yeeted 7 years back in time, 1 month before high school starts. Armed with the knowledge of every mistake he made the first time around, he's dead set on climbing the social ladder, dodging his past disasters, and actually getting a girlfriend.
美少女じゃないは無理があるんじゃ。やべ。
I mean, come on. The title says New Game Plus, so what did you think? This was going to be some kind of sports anime? Second chance stories live or die by how much you care about the protagonist's journey, and Haibara's awkward grind from social outcast to someone worth rooting for genuinely keeps you hooked. It's what made shows like Real Life more watchable, and I'm getting the same vibe from this one. If you're a sucker for redemption arcs wrapped in high school nostalgia, this one's worth your time.
どうせ私を追い出した後、私の匂いがたっぷり染み込んだベッドに顔をうずめてクンクンするんですよね。知ってます。
誰がするか。
Akitaro Ubushi runs his life on pure efficiency. He's the producer of the Fifth Floor Alliance, a game dev circle made up of his apartment neighbors, and the latest title just hit 1 million downloads. To secure their future, he approaches his uncle's company for a partnership. But there's a catch. He has to pretend to be his cousin Mashiro's boyfriend. Just when he thinks things cannot get any more chaotic, he remembers Iroha, his best friend's little sister who used to troll him, now starts to act weird.
なんだよこいつ。なんで今さらこんなこと言いやがるんだよ。俺はどうすれば。
なんちゃって。
This one got slept on because people assumed it was another Can Guys and Girls Be Friends nightmare, but it's genuinely a fun watch. Iroha teases Akiraru relentlessly, but never tips into unbearable territory, and Akiraru responds with some good old patience and wit rather than flustered screaming. And that's a rare dub for male leads. The show uses its 12 episodes developing each character rather than rushing the plot, which pays off. Sure, it might not be a 10 out of 10, but it's still a great rom-com.
よっしゃ
うっす。
ババ引いて笑ってやがるだと。何の策だ。惑わす気か。
This anime took the whole opposites attract thing and made it a whole anime about it. Uta-kun is an open book, every thought plastered across his face. Kashiwada-san, completely unreadable, zero expression, nothing. Naturally, Uta makes it his personal mission to crack her poker face, throwing everything he can think of at her. Fake spiders, ridiculous texts, you name it. It's more like a reverse Takagi-san.
ありがとう。
別にそういうつもりじゃねえ。
The main duo carries this show hard. Uta's energy and prideful nature clashing with Kashiwada's quiet, expressionless exterior creates this genuinely entertaining push and pull dynamic. The supportive cast, his two buddies who mostly just roast his attempts, the overly protective class rep, and the one girl who can actually read Kashiwada all add some solid flavor without overstaying their welcome. Yeah, the story's basically just boy tries to make girl react, repeat, but honestly, that's the whole charm.
何言ってんの、たっくん。本当にね。初出は2話だし。
Rom-coms have been getting a lot of gals lately, and I'm not complaining. Takuya Seo is your classic otaku sitting behind the popular girls in class, Ichiji and Amane, basically two different worlds sharing the same classroom. A borrowed eraser kicks things off, and Takuya accidentally lets slip his anime opinions, only for Amane to immediately correct him. She claims she's not a fan, but the detail she drops says otherwise.
ほら、意外とつぶらな瞳とか。
This one's a short manga, but it nails that sweet spot for popular girl hiding her nerdy side, which, let's be real, never gets old. And I am so glad it's getting an anime adaptation because everything I saw in the trailer got me hooked. Now, I have watched the first episode. I love the dynamic between Kaiyua and Amane. She's clearly flustered but too proud to admit it, while he's just vibing, completely unaware of the situation unfolding.
もう大丈夫です。ん？
I know, it's strange to throw in a reverse harem to the list, but come on. This has some of the best comedic moments from last year's rom-com anime. In a world where turning 16 means receiving a blessing from an animal god, Sophia Riller, a timid count's daughter, ends up with the gorilla god's blessing, supposedly the strongest combat ability around. All she wants is a quiet school life, but her absurd power gets her scouted by the royal knights as an apprentice.
何かお困りですか？
Anime rarely catches me off guard, but when it does, I know I'm up for some reward. It's not trying to be an action show either, so if cozy fantasy romance with light comedy sounds like your thing, this one delivers exactly that. Sophia starts off frustratingly passive, always hiding and shrinking away, and I know she doesn't go through some Eren Yeager level personality change, but those little moments where she actually gets a hold of her powers feel super awesome.
何してんだよ。話せよ。
いいじゃん別に。だって幼馴染でしょ？
Why stop with one when you can mix in two childhood friends? Iyo Saki is a high school guy obsessed with rom-com manga, particularly stories about childhood friends. Ironically, he has two childhood friends himself, the teasing blue-haired Shio and the tsundere orange-haired Akari, but never saw them as anything more. That changes once high school hits and suddenly these girls are actively throwing themselves at him. A third girl, Runaku, brings her younger sister energy, while the tomboy Haru rounds out the roster.
じゃあやってみなさいよ。今私と。
Yes, you know what this is, and what's great is how the show knows exactly what it is. A silly harem rom-com where every girl is somehow the MC's childhood friend, which is already a hilarious premise. Shio literally creates rom-com scenes to mess with EU. Akari does the whole tsundere thing, and somehow it all works together. Sure, it might not be the most original idea around, but it's not trying to be deep. It's trying to be fun, and it absolutely nails that.
今回一日慌てて不可解運じたしがあいえな網太ださきっとがんぶつくさね
A Tokyo boy named Teru moves to Okinawa and immediately catches feelings for the bubbly classmate Hina, who speaks in a thick local dialect. Problem is, our poor guy barely understands half of what she says. Enter Kana, Hina's best friend, who volunteers as translator while secretly nursing her own crush on Teru. The three spend their days exploring Okinawan culture together, but guess what? There's a love triangle.
心配して来てくれた優しい嬉しい
So here's the thing. Okitsura is basically a tourism ad disguised as a romance anime, and it somehow works. You tune in for the love triangle, then you find yourself genuinely curious about Okinawan history, food, and culture. I mean, at least that was the case with me. The trivia segments are also pretty creative enough, and the childhood flashback sequences between Teru and Hina are where the show truly shines. Watching two kids build a bond you can trace directly to their present dynamic makes everything hit harder.
カナン。
Can you seduce a demon? Time to find out. Kanan is a demon with one simple plan. Sneak into the human world, blend in as a high schooler, and snack on some fresh young souls. Her first target is Yuji Koyogi, just some regular guy minding his business. Except, instead of eating him, she somehow ends up in a romantic contract with him. Now she's got some classic demon in love problems.
なんで私があんたと一緒に帰らなくちゃならないのよ
だって俺先輩の彼氏ですから。
私の
Honestly, the premise sells itself. It kind of reminded me of the world only God knows. A millennia-old demon who survived literal hell, but completely short-circuits over hand-holding? That's the good stuff. The comedy writes itself when your protagonist is simultaneously terrifying and utterly hopeless at something as basic as a date. I know this is new, but the first few episodes hooked me, which means they're gonna hook you too.
早乙女ランマです
おおそうか君が
可愛いじゃない
いやーよー
Ranma Saotome's martial arts trip to China goes sideways when he and his father Genma fall into cursed springs. Cold water turns Ranma into a girl and Genma into a panda, with hot water being the only fix. Back in Japan, Ranma discovers he's been betrothed to Akane Tendo, the youngest daughter of his father's best friend. Neither of them is thrilled about it, yet they're forced to live together anyway.
元気があって可愛い言い名付けじゃないか。
可愛くない。いいじゃない。
This is one of the OG school rom-coms, and this new remake is what a remake should be. It respects the source while feeling fresh. Ranma and Akane's dynamic is the highlight. They bicker constantly, but the moment one of them is in trouble, the other one shows up without hesitation, which says everything about where this relationship is headed. The gender swapping gimmick never overstays its welcome either, actually letting Ranma connect with Akane in ways he otherwise couldn't. The supporting cast, oh come on, what can I say? All of them, from the obsessed Chinese lady to the man who transforms to a pig, are the best characters you can get in a rom-com.
誰も見てない。谷君、やばい。途中まで一緒に帰ろう。
Miyu Suzuki is your typical cheerful high school girl who cares way too much about fitting in. Right next to her sits Yusuke Tani, a guy who couldn't care less about what anyone thinks. Their personalities are basically opposites, yet somehow that's exactly what pulls them together. As feelings start piling up and become impossible to ignore, Suzuki finally speaks up, forcing both of them to actually deal with what's been sitting between them.
嘘。何これ。夢。
So here's the thing, this show doesn't need love triangles or dramatic breakdowns to keep you hooked. Suzuki blurts out things before her brain catches up, Tani silently spirals for 5 minutes after every interaction, and somehow watching that dynamic unfold is pretty entertaining. The side couples also each bring something different, some chaotic, some hesitant, so nothing ever feels repetitive. What makes it work is how the show nails those small nervous moments, overthought text, the accidental confession, the awkward pause that says everything. This is one of the cutest rom-coms I've watched, and if you miss it, you're missing a lot.